G'day guys, and welcome back to SimWorld episode 27. We're starting to rack up these SimWorld episodes, and I do enjoy doing them. Today we are doing a little bit of an earlier SimWorld. This is to kind of help capture the UK, viewers, because for them, when I do it later in the day at 7 a.m. here in Adelaide, when I do it at the usual 9 a.m., it's like midnight, 1 in the morning for the UK viewers. So what I thought I'd do is I like to just mix things up, and I have talked about doing this. I'll do these at different times. So it is Sunday morning for me. I could even go earlier than this. I mean, I could go 6 a.m. if I really wanted to go earlier to try and help that UK market and other parts of the world, I guess Europe as well. But yeah, today we're doing it a little bit earlier. It looks like we've got Scott, POB16 in the chat. While we get people coming in, I've got a few things to talk about today. This is going to be more of like a, kind of like a podcast episode, I guess. I'm going to be talking about a few things, but while people come in, while we've got Scott, I guess, in the chat, it's a fitting time to talk about the race to Scotland. We have picked a course, and Scott's been really good. He's doing a lot of work on a course, and we have picked a course. It is in Scotland, obviously. The race to Scotland is the league that I run. Season 2, this one is going to be special. This course, I think a lot of people have waited for this course to come on GS Pro. I know I've wanted this course to be on GS Pro, so Scott is working in the background to make it come true. I won't announce it just yet. We'll probably wait. But yeah, we've got a course. It's all steam ahead. He's working hard, yeah, so get excited. It's going to be good. That final event is going to be amazing. Just while I'm talking about the league, actually, what I should say is I'm going to start reaching out to some sponsors. I'm going to try and get sponsors again like I did for the first Race to Scotland season. So if you are watching this and you're a potential sponsor, I'm going to be reaching out to the same people. But if you want to sponsor the Race to Scotland, then definitely let me know. We can see, look at this. We've got all these new people in the chat. We've got Thomas, who's in Sweden, 11:30 p.m. So it's still late. It's still late. Yeah, I should do these earlier. I can do them earlier. We've got Phil as well. Love this time. Yeah, I know. It will be changing. The time zone will be changing by about half an hour, I think, soon. 2:30 p.m. in California. G'day, David. We got Jez as well. Jez in Thailand. Very good. Last week's episode, I had issues, and I'm talking to a different Scott, another Scott who lives here in Adelaide. He's going to help me out with my PC. I'm going to get a, I don't know. He's all over it. He did message me. I need to have a free PCIe slot on my motherboard, so then I can get another Ethernet port on my computer. So Scott here in Adelaide, he's going to take a look at I'm going to send him some pictures of my PC. Yeah, there's 2 Jezzes in the chat. Yeah, I know. Who's the real Jez? I'm going to send him some pictures of my PC, and I'm going to see if I can get 2 Ethernet ports, because yeah, someone else messaged me about it as well. You can add an Ethernet port to your computer as long as you have a free PCIe slot. So fingers crossed I do. I should. I don't see why I shouldn't. And then we can get another Ethernet port. Right now, I'm using my Ethernet port for my launch monitor. So the Pro T is plugged into my Ethernet port, and then I've got my internet running through my USB to Ethernet adapter. However, just like when I had my Pro T plugged in there, it just drops out. So the dropout's not to do with the Pro T, the dropout's to do with my USB port. Even though I've gone into the settings and I've selected do not go to sleep, like do not turn this USB, don't go into power saving mode, there's still issues with using a USB to Ethernet adapter versus using a direct Ethernet plug-in to your PC. So yeah, hopefully with those dropouts, won't happen because I like to have my PC in here wired for internet, and that I've got really good internet at home. I've got 500 download, 200 upload for the channel. And so, yeah, when it's wired, I do get those speeds. When it's on Wi-Fi, there's, yeah, issues to be expected. Mickey's in the chat from Dublin. That's really cool. So it's good to see all the Europeans in the chat today. And I've got to say, come on, Europe. Let's go. Team Europe, next week, the Ryder Cup starts. Man, I'm pumped. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for the Ryder Cup. I think we've got a good chance. I think Europe's got a really good chance. I do love my internet speed, yeah. I might have to get it even quicker. You just chase numbers, don't you? It's like your golf. You chase numbers when you're like, well, why? I don't need more than that. Why? Why do I need more than that? But yeah, Team Europe, I think they've got a really good chance. I saw an article, actually. I'll talk about this more. I'm going to do a video on it. I saw an article that Team Europe, and this is off the cuff, Team Europe were using, let me get it. Team Europe apparently were using VR headsets. McElroy has come out and said this, that Team Europe were using VR headsets and going to Bethpage Black, and somehow they were getting crowd noises and all this shade thrown at them when they were standing on the tee wearing a VR headset to try and get them into that mind zone of being on the first tee. How cool is that? Like, Luke Donald is using technology like VR headsets to try and use that to get the players ready to be standing on the first tee. That's wild. And that is so forward thinking. And I'm going to be doing a video on that. I'm going to get my headset on. We're going to go out to Bethpage Black and I'm going to play a few holes in the virtual world, like, in the metaverse. I'll be using the Golf Plus app. It doesn't say what they use to do that. So cool. I love that. I really love that. But I will be doing a video on that because it's going to be cool. I'm going to do a video on, Bethpage on the GS Pro, playing it like that. And then I'm also going to do a video with headsets. So it'll be good. Excited. What else have we got? Phil saying he can, was it you that messaged me, Phil? I can't remember. I think I'm so far behind with networking. What I would love to do is actually have, like, I've been reading up on this and I do not know about this, all right? NAS, network area storage. I'd love to have a hard drive on my PC that I could access everywhere else in my house, because I'll record a video and I'm so old school, I'm putting it onto a hard drive. So I've got my Samsung hard drive, and then that I will plug it into my computer, get the videos on this, and then I will put it onto my, iPad or my Mac to edit the video. I'd love to have something that just does it in the background and I don't have to mess around with hard drives. Yes, Mickey, it's actually fitting you mentioned that. Ben from Triple Bogey Golf, he just put out a video on Nova, a fantastic video. Definitely, if you're watching this, you will 100% know about Triple Bogey Golf and Ben's channel. I've been a massive supporter of Ben since he started his channel. He's fantastic. He's really tech savvy. He has just put out a video on Nova. It's good to see the Nova guys supporting Ben. I did mention Ben to them ages ago when they first sent me the prototype. I said, definitely send one to Ben, and it's really good to see that he's got one. One is on the way. So I have got a production Nova unit on the way right now, and it should be here, I'm hoping, early next week. And as soon as that gets here, it's going to go through all of the official tests. I'm not going to hold anything back. So sorry, Taylor, sorry, Chad, if there's anything that you guys don't want to see, you're gonna see it on my channel. I'm not going to hide anything. You're just going to see the Nova for what it is. And look, I know it's a good product. And even if there are misreads, and this is what I'll say about any of these units, the Nova, the Element, any of these units, if there are issues, these guys will address it and they will fix it. I know they will. Just like with the iMini, we had, I mean, how long, the iMini, how many issues did we have with that? When that first dropped, I remember I got that, I was so excited to use it. Literally day one, issues with ball speed and club speed. It was way down on ball speed. And I remember using the iMini and I put up pictures and I was like 3 or 4 miles an hour slower with that unit. And it was just like, I'm already a short knocker. I need those 4 miles an hour. And so, yes, there are going to be issues potentially with the Nova, with the Element. These guys are going to fix them. They are very responsive. They have a Discord where you can literally talk to the guys. You can message the guys direct and say, hey, I'm having these issues. There's an upload button. If you're having issues, upload any issues. They will get onto it. Chad is, you know, a mastermind with this stuff, as is, you know, Taylor. They will get onto this. So yeah, excited. The Nova is going to be fantastic. I know it will. There may be issues. The guys will get them fixed. Yeah, and Phil's right. So jump on to the Discord. So you've got a couple of Discords. You've got a Nova Discord. You've got a Spectrum Element Discord. Both really responsive. Brett is just amazing, as is Mike. So Brett and Mike work together. Taylor and Chad work together. Brett and Mike, again, if there's issues, they will fix it. They'll pick up on it. They'll fix it. Both of the units have a web interface where you can upload any of your shots that have gone wrong. They will literally look at them and go, okay, this is what happened, and they can apply an update and fix it over the air, which is really cool. So yeah, Nova coming soon. Also, we've got a new Element on the way. Unfortunately, in transit, the Element that I got damaged. It got knocked around, and so there's something rattling in the actual unit itself. So the new Element is on the way as well. I'm going to be busy next week. The next 2 weeks are going to be super busy because I'm going to have the Nova, I'm going to have the Element, and I've also got another launch monitor coming. So someone is sending me another launch monitor that will go through the full process. So stand by. We've got 3 launch monitors on the way, and I'm going to put them all through their paces. Super exciting. What are the crown and numbers next to some people's names? Jonathan, that is a really good... Look, come on. I don't know. I think if you message a lot in the chat, you get, like if you, the #1 amount of messages, you'll get a #1 next to your name and a crown. I think that's how it works. The more you interact, you will move up the list and you'll get recognized for 1, 2, and 3. So get in that chat. Yes, Phil's onto me. So yeah, I've got another launch monitor coming. Stay tuned. It's going to be good. I will, I'll leave it at that. Oh, you know what? Let's just say it. We're in the live, aren't we? So let me grab, okay, yeah, I've got one. So you will know about the stands. So Claire and David, so David's the dad, Claire's the daughter, they've been making these launch monitors. So, sorry, they've been making these stands for all the launch monitors that I use. They've kindly been sending them to me. These stands you can purchase from Claire Prints. I will, in the description of this video, I'll leave a link to these stands. So you can buy these for all different launch monitors. So David's been messaging me because they have just got a Flight Scope Gen 2 and the Mevo Gen 2, and they've got a stand for it. So David and Claire are sending me the Mevo Gen 2 so I can do all of the tests on it and also show off their stand. So that's what's coming. So I've got the Element, the Spectrum Element, I've got the Nova, and I've got a Mevo Gen 2 coming, which honestly, I've seen a lot of videos on the Mevo Gen 2, a lot of glowing reviews. like you always see. There's glowing reviews. There's no issues. This thing's amazing, but buy it from my link so I get a kickback. Stay tuned. You will be getting the full Joe Lagowski treatment on all of those launch monitors. I'm not going to hold back, especially with the Mevo Gen 2. I'm going to be doing everything, including putting and chipping, the official tests. I think that's what really separates this channel from a lot of other channels, is we have the official tests that are the exact same with all of these launch monitors. And we're going to put these launch monitors through all of those official tests so everybody knows exactly what they're getting. I want to do some spin axis videos as well with the Mevo Gen 2. So we'll be doing the official shot shaping test as well as a priority. So no, Thomas, unfortunately the Neo E is not on the way yet. But that launch monitor really interests me actually, because I've seen quite a few, I watched a Carl's Place video on it. So, yeah. I'm going to be seriously busy, but it's exciting. It's always good to have new launch monitors and to be just testing them out. Who's the company behind Neo E? I've just got to check. Envisage. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I have seen that Neo E. There's a few launch monitors. There's, True Golf with their launch box. Envisage have an overhead launch monitor. I've heard average things. They've come out with the Neo E, which does look incredible. You get a lot of data points there. I would love to test it. Potentially it's something that I'll be able to test in the future. I don't know. Honestly, I've got no idea. So we'll see. Greg's in the chat. That's good to see. He's busy at the moment, but it's good that he's checking in. Exciting times for launch monitor. Spectrum Element is my choice for new launch monitors. The Element is really exciting. I think if you're in a situation where you need a single-handed bay, like if you only want a right-handed bay or a left-handed bay. I have talked to Brett. I don't know how much I can say, but I don't even know if I can say it. I might not, just in case. But yeah, so if you want a single-handed bay, then the Spectrum Element is fantastic, amazing. If you're someone who wants to have a left and right-handed bay, you can't afford an overhead, you don't want to use a radar because there's obviously issues with the putting and things like that and chipping, then the Nova is a fantastic option because of its low profile. So yeah, different launch monitors for different uses. As always, there's pros and cons to all of them. Yeah, they are. Scott and Greg in the chat. That's good. I can't wait to show off the course that Scott is working on right now for the league. It's going to be exciting. Just like the first one, when we announced Prestwick, it was like, Prestwick is such an iconic course. Literally hosted the Open, the first course to host the Open. There's so much history there. It's going to be exciting to show off the new course that he's working on for this year's finale. See, Friendly Golfer, he's a really good YouTuber because he is honest with everything he presents. So I have a lot of time for the Friendly Golfer, Bobby. He's a good dude. Yeah, I haven't seen his putting test on YouTube. Oh, no, I think I have. What I will say, and I'm going to say this, and people are going to hate this, but I try and go into all these tests with a clean slate, unbiased view. I already know a radar unit for putting is not going to be as good as a photometric putting complete. The hardware, the physical hardware and the limitations with radar. And look, I know they supplement with a camera. They're going to have to heavily supplement with a camera. They're going to have to be camera primary with putting. Radar by itself is not going to be as good with those really short shots. So really short putts, really soft chip shots where you're just trying to chip it a foot off your mat because you've got a massive downhill shot. Radar as a way to capture metrics it's not going to be as good as a photometric based system. When you get to higher speeds, radar is going to be superior, because the frame rates that you can capture from a camera, they're limited. Whereas, and I know there's ways to trick it. You can use IR to flash, and you can increase that like the PyTrack does. But cameras, the way they're physically made and the hardware, they're not going to be able to have as good as a refresh rate as a radar. So on high speed shots, if you're a long drive champ, you know, if you're Matty Bombs in Queensland, radar's going to be the way to go, because it's going to be able to refresh and capture more data as the ball goes out in terms of ball speed than a camera-based unit, unless you get like a GC quad. Even then, GC quad is going to be limited with ball speed, where a radar-based unit is going to be able to capture and refresh more data. It's just the way the hardware works. Indoors, radar has so many limitations. Not only have you got the issue with the small chip shots and the putts, but also with spin axis. And spin axis with that limited ball flight, with gear effect, radar is so limited, and it's going to get it wrong. Even the TrackMan 4 gets it wrong indoors with spin axis. All of these things as well with radar-based units, TrackMan 4, it's applying an algorithm for gear effect. So the TrackMan will use the camera, and the camera again is looking from behind. It's going to use the camera to assess, where's a golf ball? So say that's your golf ball on a tee. The TrackMan is looking from behind, so where I am, and it's going to try and estimate on the face where the ball was hit, and then it's going to apply an algorithm based on how far it thinks off center the ball was hit for spin axis. So there's a lot of limitations for radar indoors. Radar units have their place. It's fantastic if you're a long drive champ, or you do 90% of your work outside on the driving range. A radar unit's fantastic for that. Absolutely fantastic. Indoors, I will always go camera over radar, just because of the physical hardware. That was a rant. That is what you call a rant. Someone got me onto that. Who started that? You know exactly what you're doing to wind me up. Let's see. Well, let me catch up. Tomat's in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Jez is saying, yeah, you turn me. It's just, honestly, it comes down to it's the way the physical hardware works. It's just knowing the limitations of your units. Is the Spectrum that much better than the Square? That's a really good question. So this is where I'll start a little rant now. So with these units like the Nova and the Element, I will get onto the talking points. I've got some talking points, but I love this. I much prefer you guys to just ask questions and me just fire back. So is the Spectrum Element much better than the Square? I'm going to talk about this in two launch monitors. So the Nova and the Element, I'm going to put into that same bucket, because they're going to be the ones that you go, hey, I can get a Square for, say, $1,000 in Australia. Or I could get a Nova for $1,500 US. The Element, I don't believe, has a price point yet. You can guess they're going to be about the same price. They're going to be about the same price. So those two units, why would you go those two units over the Square? Well, with the Square, you're getting a fantastic device that's going to give you arguably everything you need for simulated golf. All of the ball data, so you can play sim golf and enjoy it. You do have club data. It's limited though. You're going to get your dynamic loft, which is a random metric for them to throw in. Dynamic loft, which I do love. I think that's fantastic. You're going to get your club path, and you're going to get your, is it angle of attack? Having a mind blank. Angle of attack, I think. You don't get club speed. So this is where when you go to something like the Spectrum Element or the Nova, they are going to be adding, the Element does it now. It has club speed, for example, as a metric. You're going to get different data points. Brett's talking about expanding those data points as well. You've got horizontal impact. I can see him Brett is a nerd. He's already talking about creating a plane. So he's talking about, I don't know how much I can say. He's talking about essentially quad data. Imagine quad data from the element. That's what he's talking about. I've probably said too much. So you're going to get something that is going to be ever evolving, where I think the Square, they've gone quiet. They've really gone quiet. They haven't really added much to the unit since launch. They've added a few things. You get a fantastic device, limited. With the element, you've got a direct, channel to the actual people who make this device. The same with the Nova. So you're going to be able to say, hey, it would be great if we could get, dynamic lie. And then Brett will go away in his world, in his garage, and he'll go, how can I get that? It's amazing what he's doing with that unit. So that's kind of what you get with these units over the Square. You get a direct channel. It's made by the users for the users. The same with the Nova. They're going to be adding a bunch of different things to that device. They're open devices, so you can make your own software. So you can make software for the Nova right now and send it out to other users. So it's an open platform. With the Nova, you're obviously getting that low profile, so you can do left and right-handed golfers. You get the touch bar, so you can interact with GS Pro. But I guess the best way to put it, made by the users, for the users, direct communication with the guys who make it. And you can basically say, as a user, I would love to see low point. They're going to do their best to get you low point as a metric. Open platforms as well. You can link up with the Nova. You can link up cameras, etc., through different software, and the Element as well. They're going to be adding camera support as well. They've got hardware on the unit to be able to do that. But that's, I guess, why you would get a Nova or an Element over the Square. And I honestly, I'm all for it. I think the Square I love the Square, amazing unit. And if you want something that's readily available, it works, it's a fantastic device, the Square's a good option. But if you're the kind of person to go, I want to get a little bit more out of this, and I would love to get, things for impact vision, camera set up for your swing vision so you can see your swing, that's where getting something like the Nova or the Element is going to be for you. It's for the user, by the user. Hey, Nova, with my swing cameras, I'd love to be able to export that video. They will add it. I know they'll add it. I've talked to them. Little things like that, where if you've got the Square, you're limited with what they give you. This is where you've got a two-way communication with the guys who actually make it. So if you're a bit of a nerd, Jez, if you want to get a bit more out of your device, if you want to feel like part of a community, that's where going to the Element or the Nova is going to be for you. Another rant. There you go, Jez. Hitting area as well. Sorry, I didn't even think. Yeah. Yeah, Greg is absolutely right. So hitting area, it blows my mind how big the hitting area is on the Element. If you have club data enabled, it's about the same size as, I want to say, maybe it'd be the same size as the iMini. If you turn it off, it is huge. It's ridiculous how big that hitting area is. So yeah, hitting area is another thing. Same with the Nova, the hitting area is massive. There is actually no hitting area with the Nova, which is really cool. They've made it to where you just roll a ball up and hit it. So yeah, that's kind of why you're doing that, getting that unit over the other one. Let me roll up. I've missed a few comments now. Joe. Bear with me. I really apologize for this. I need to get this computer sorted out. Okay, we should be slowly coming back to life now. I've had to, yeah. I need to get this sorted because this is really frustrating. I do apologize, guys. Yeah, technical gremlin. Let me know if I'm back. It should be back now. Right. We should be coming back. live. Fingers crossed. It looks like I've got data back on my side. Okay, thanks, Tomat. Oh, so frustrating. So frustrating. I do apologize, guys. I really apologize. I need to get this sorted because it's, yeah. I'll be hitting up Scott today about getting an extra Ethernet port on my computer. And yeah. So what we just experienced there was the actual USB port where I've got my Ethernet in. So it's a USB to Ethernet port. The USB port just dropped out, and so internet gone. Right, where were we? We were talking about the PGA show, I think. Yes, there is a good chance I'm going to the PGA show. So yeah, fingers crossed. There's big changes for me and my family in the new year, like huge changes. I'll probably talk about it later when it's all happening, but there's going to be some massive changes happening in my life and my family's life. So yeah, it's exciting. PGA show is I'm going to say it's a probable. I'm going to say it's, yeah, probably. I'm probably going to be at the PGA show, but there's a lot happening. There is a lot happening. And Jonathan, it's to do with my work. So I can't say, I'm not going to say anything now because I'll wait till it happens, and I'll talk about it when it's happening. Let me go back. Derek is saying shot a 1 under on the first round of Procore, then followed it up with solid plus 13. Oh man, I think, no, was it the Procore? Was the Procore this week? This week's tips tour, man, my swing felt so bad. You're going to see some real scrappy golf if you watch the Chasing Glory. Do you think either of these will ever add club head speed? Sorry, Knight, I think the internet dropped out, Knight, just when you asked your comment. I'm not sure which launch monitors you're talking about with club head speed. If you're talking about the Square, I don't hold hopes for it adding club head speed. I did hold hope, and multiple emails that have not been responded to, so I don't know. I'm not sure. I'd love to see it add club head, even if it was just driver, because you know where, like the Square knows where the sticker is reference the club head. It's 20 centimeters up. So if they just applied an algorithm and just said, hey, this sticker is moving at this speed, add a little algorithm on for the club head, and just, surely they could figure it out. They're so smart. Even if it was just with driver. Yeah, hopefully, Jez. Yeah, hopefully, if we can get some videos from the PGA show and we can stream while we're there. Fingers crossed. Okay, Knight is asking about the Element or the Nova adding club head speed. So again, I was meant to do this video on the Element, but it got here and it was damaged, so things were wrong with it. The Element does have club head speed right now. It does club head speed. It does path. It does angle of attack, and it does horizontal impact location. So where horizontally on the club head you hit. That's what the Element does right now. So you've got to have a sticker though. You've got to have a sticker, and it's the same place you put the sticker on the GC3. So you've got to have a sticker on the top of the club head, top middle of the club head is where you put the sticker for the Element. This is what I was talking about with the Element, where Brett is talking about potentially doing a plane of the club. So what that means, what a plane means is, if you've just got a single dot, you're very limited to the actual information you can capture. If you make a plane, so what that means is if you put, like the GC Quad, for instance, it puts a sticker on the 4 corners. That's going to create like an actual plane of the club. And that's where you can start doing things like dynamic lie, dynamic loft. You can start doing all of the information that you'd need and more. You can do impact location, etc. So a single dot, you're limited. Whereas if you put more stickers, you could either put like a bar down this side and then a single dot, or a bar down that side and a single dot. You can do a lot more with the information. So yeah, just know that the Element right now is doing all of that club data. You can toggle it on or off. With the Nova, I know the guys have worked on club head speed for a long time. They can do it. It's just they don't want to release it yet until it's like super refined and they're confident that it's working 100% all the time. So the Nova's got a few tricks up its sleeve. The Nova is not only a camera-based system. The Nova's got a radar in it. Again, radar, not great for certain metrics in a indoor simulator. However, they can supplement with that radar for things like club head speed. Club head speed is going to be really accurate. The other thing, if they're using radar for club head speed, now you're not going to need stickers on your club. So the Nova's got a few tricks up its sleeve that I don't think a lot of people know. It's going to be, it's a good device. It's exciting. I'm excited to get it. For me though, putting stickers on my clubs, look, I don't really play golf outside. It's like a handful of times a year. So for me, the stickers, I'm like, they just live on my clubs. It's really annoying though, when you have to take them off to play in competition. And then even for me, I only play a handful of times a year. I'll come back in my sim and I'm like with stickers and putting them on. That's where having something that's stickerless like the Pro T is amazing. If you're playing outside all the time in competitions, taking and putting on stickers and taking them off is going to get super frustrating. It's really annoying. Yeah, PGA show. Yeah. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for the PGA show. Knight, which one do you want to buy? So you can get the Nova right now from their website, Open Launch Nova. With the Element, they're still in their final stages of like testing and refining it. I'd love for those guys to have a chat, like the Nova guys and the Element guys, and just go, we're both doing this. We're both doing this. How can they kind of talk to each other? And yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, Nova doesn't need a shank tank because the profile that it sits is so low. And also it's got like a shield in certain places. So where they did heaps of testing, they told me about this when I first spoke to them. They did a lot of testing, and where people were hitting the unit, they basically created their own shank tank for it. So it's got a built-in like metal shield around the area that predominantly got hit. And then also they've got, if you talk to the guys, they've got a pretty good replacement program. So Nova is all about having something that is used as, you know, a tool. And if it breaks, contact them and they'll have some sort of replacement in place to be able to fix it. The Element, yes, if you get that device as it currently is right now, you will need some sort of shank tank because the cameras are very exposed. However, with the Element, where you hit from, you can hit like parallel to the unit. So, I mean, unless you hit it directly off the toe, which my kids have done, and it goes like dead right, there's a potential for that. But if you do a normal shank, you're not going to hit that unit. So the Element, yes, in its current state right now, will need some sort of shank tank. Yeah. Jez, I think if I go over there, I'm going to be so busy, like talking to people and trying to do what I'm there to actually do. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of chaos. So I know that the Element guys are already, so there's a lot of certification, Mickey, that goes into it. And that's the kind of thing is getting the correct certification to be able to sell in these different countries and regions. I talk to them both about that kind of stuff. If you watch the lives that I did with them, I kind of talk to them about that sort of stuff. I think Nova might already be selling to that region. I'm not sure. I know thanks to the channel, I know they've got, both of them have got Australia on the map. So it's cool. It's cool to be a part of the process and to be, you know, to be able to help Aussies by having this YouTube channel and then seeing these people making these devices and even considering Australia as a country to launch these products. It's amazing. It's really cool to see. Happy to be a part of that. Okay, let's talk. I did have some talking points today. I'm going to try and find them because I do want to talk about a few things. Let's talk about Birdies Bayside. So, channel partner Bayside. I'm going to pull this up actually. Let me get the website up. Birdies Bayside. This is really exciting because channel partner Bayside has just opened their own indoor golf sim. So this is located in Queensland. I'm super excited. Really, really cool to see. They've Sam from Bayside, amazing guy, has grown Bayside from in his garage. It's now, he's in a facility. It's amazing. It's growing all the time. But he's just opened a 6-bay indoor simulator, which is just incredible. And of course, they're using GS Pro and they're using the Pro TVX. It looks incredible. I cannot wait to go and see it. I'll try and put up, they've got their own league. I want to put up some, they've got some amazing pictures. I shared them on my, my Instagram. So definitely jump on Instagram. Take a look at the pictures. They basically vlogged the whole build of Birdies, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to show this off. I'm definitely going to be doing a video from Birdies showing it off. It's going to be insane. They've the technology they have, like look at that massive screen that the guy was just looking at. That's in all of the bays. It's this huge screen that you can interact with. It's just incredible. It's going to be so good to do a video from there. But yeah, Birdies Bayside is open. If you're in Queensland, definitely go and check this out. The way it's kind of set up is hopefully there's going to be more and more of these, you know, Birdies simulators opening up around Australia. Fingers crossed. But this is the first one that's in Queensland. Everything's done through an app, so you can get your login code, etc. You can log in, and it's open 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Those are the staffed hours. Sorry, so the actual opening hours, it's like 11 p.m. I think. We can go to facility after hours. What facilities? Opening hours. Here we go. 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. 7 days a week. So absolutely amazing. Yeah. Really excited for Birdies. I cannot wait to check it out. So yeah, that was a massive thing that happened literally yesterday. It opened. So he's going to be so busy now over the next few days. I know he is. He'll be busy with Birdies. So yeah, that is Birdies Bayside. Next up, let's talk about, this is a massive topic I wanted to talk about. Joe got a job at Birdies Bayside, LOL. Yeah, that'd be funny. You wouldn't want to give me a job there. I'd just be playing sim golf all day if I got a job there. Let's talk about simulator golf versus outdoor golf. This is a big topic, and I see this all the time where people will play simulator golf and then they'll go outside, and it's really hard to take your game from an indoor simulator golf to outdoor golf. And so I wanted to kind of talk about this from my own personal experience. I play indoor golf 90, I'm going to say it's like 98% of my golf is played indoors. There's reasons for that. I've got a young family. The job I currently do right now, it's really hard to actually get out and play outdoor golf. Outdoor golf takes a lot of time. That's where having something at home or playing indoor golf is so much more accessible. How do you then take your game to an outdoor environment and still perform? It's really hard. And the reason I bring this up, because I played outdoor golf for the first time in months. Last week, I went out and played outdoor golf. I played Mount Compass. If you haven't played Mount Compass and you live in South Australia, such a good course. Such a good course. Definitely go and play there. But I went and played Mount Compass, and I want to talk about some of the differences with playing sim golf versus outdoor golf. What I noticed was I'm so used to having a flat lie, playing a course like Mount Compass where you never have a flat lie, and understanding how the club is going to interact with the turf depending on what lie you're on. So uphill lies, downhill lies, side hill lies. It got me. Like, it honestly got me. I had a shot where, hitting off an uphill lie, the club just drove into the ground, and I hit it solid. Like my low point was good, and that's a really good thing you need to think of. But understanding how different lies affect the golf shot is huge. It's absolutely huge. Even the way that the grass sits, so hitting down grain versus hitting into the grain, is massive. And I guess what I'm trying to say is you could absolutely never have a golfer that's born and only plays indoor golf for their whole life. They could become the world's best simulator golfer, the best in the world, be absolutely dominate. The Tiger Woods of indoor golf, when he was absolutely dominating. You could take that golfer, you could put them outside for the first time, and they would not break 80. They wouldn't break 80. You could make them the best in the world at simulator golf. They wouldn't break 80. However, you could then take someone who is the Tiger Woods outdoor golf. You could bring them inside, and within, I'm going to say, a few hours, once they understand the physics of the software, they would be up there in the best golfers in simulator golf. There is such a big difference from indoor golf to outdoor golf, and it's all the little things. It's reading the lie. It's golf IQ, what club to take in certain situations, how the grain affects you on the green, how the grain on the green is going to affect your chip shots is massive. So going from outdoors to indoors or indoors to outdoors, massive difference. And I definitely experienced that the other day when I played Mount Compass. It was huge. I'm surprised you don't have one of those adjustable lie hitting mats yet. So yeah, Jonathan, those adjustable lie hitting mats are fantastic. I do love them. However, when you bring those indoors, you've got to think about ceiling height. Those mats, they need, room to move. So they're going to be sitting a good, foot or 30 centimeters in height. And when you start raising your floor height 30 centimeters, now I've just brought in the roof into play. So adjustable lie hitting mats, fantastic. There is actually a guy who is making them, and they interact with GS Pro. I haven't heard from him in a long time, but you can get those, but you've just got to be aware that you need super high ceilings, because you're going to be moving your hitting mat up a good 30 centimeters at least. And Blake saying ball striking is so hard to perfect indoors. Ball strike is hard to see, Blake. I'm the opposite. I think ball striking indoors, for me, because I'm hitting off a perfect lie every time, ball striking is, I'm going to say, it's not easier, but they each have their own the differences, don't they? That's where, as Jez said, having low point is going to be crucial. And that's where you can do drills like, look, there's a company out there making a wedge and they make a wedge, a orange wedge, and you put it behind your ball so you can work on your getting your low point forward and staying on top of the ball. When I was a kid, I used a towel. I put a towel down behind my ball, and I've shown this off on the members channel. Putting a towel down behind your ball, give yourself a few inches, and that'll really teach you to stay on top and get your low point ahead. It's easy indoors, but hard to transfer. Yeah, that makes more sense. Cool. Yeah, so it's potentially easier indoors because you've got a lot of things standardized. So you've got your, for example, you've always got a perfect lie. You've got alignment aids. So indoors, you've got things like your mat to reference. So alignment indoors is a lot easier because you're looking at the edge of your mat or the edge of your hitting strip, and you're looking at it and going, okay, I'm perfectly aligned. So you've got all these alignment aids you can use. You've got a perfect lie. You've got a perfectly flat lie. And so you can get more repeatable and more consistent with your swing and with your strike. And then when you get outdoors, you'll be standing on some lies, and sometimes you'll be like this. Sometimes you'll be doing the opposite. You'll be ball above your feet, below your feet. You never get a flat lie outside. And that's where taking those feels from indoors and trying to apply them outdoors, man, it can get tough. It can really get tough. So my outdoor handicap versus indoors is, so outdoors I'm a scratch, but I'm a traveling scratch. So what that means is I don't have a home club. I'll go and play different courses every single time I go play outdoors. So a traveling scratch is different to someone who's a scratch at their home club. If you're a scratch and you only ever play at your home club, you can be, I'm going to say 3-4 shots below what a traveling handicap would be. So I'm a scratch outdoors. Indoors, I think I'm about a minus, I'm not sure, -9, I think, something like that. So big difference, very big difference. It is very easy to get complacent indoors. Yeah, you're right. And Jez, you have nailed it. Indoor golf is still hard when you get in competitions. And that's something you definitely need to do. That's why I love the Simulator Golf Tour. That's why I love playing in these blitz competitions, which I'm going to literally stream 2 rounds of blitz right after this, or maybe in about an hour. I'm going to be playing my blitz rounds. Indoors, you can add elements to make it harder, to make yourself start thinking about things like pre-shot routine, and really getting in that right mental mindset to play golf. Competition's fantastic for that. Thomas, you would be in the minority, my friend. If aiming indoors is harder than outdoors, I was playing with, like I said, my 2 friends at Mount Compass, and one of them was, he was setting up, and he has a simulator, and outdoors, I'm like, mate, you are aiming like 40 meters right. So he's standing on this tee box with driver, and he's aiming 40 meters right with his feet. And I'm like, hey, we need to start picking in an intermediate target ahead of your ball, and you need to start lining up with that intermediate target with your club face, because otherwise you're going to be aiming so far right. And he would hit a good shot, and it would go 40 meters right, and he would think that was a swing. In reality, I was like, mate, you just nailed that drive. It was perfect. You just aimed too far right. Yeah, plus. Yeah, Phil. So yeah, +9. And Harris is saying he agrees about the lie. I'm much better chipping indoors than outdoors due to the lie and the turf issues that don't exist indoors. 100%. When people start chipping outdoors, they don't understand how the actual grain of the grass, how much that affects turf interaction. Turf interaction is massive. It's huge, and you need to be able to read the lie to then select the club outside. Whereas indoors, everything's the same. So you can do a lob wedge and you can chip it easily indoors. You try and do that outdoors under certain conditions, we're hitting a flub. You're hitting a flub. Let's be real. Yeah, plus that's the same here. I know the Americans have minus, and that's what I think is referenced in SGT is minus. We're the same. You'd be a plus 4, plus 5. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I'm going to get onto the second talking point I wanted, because this one is huge for me. It's people that say putting is not realistic, or you can't actually putt indoors and improve and get better. I might talk about that next week, because that's a huge topic that I want to talk about. I see that all the time in the comments. Why would you get a launch monitor that's good at putting? There's no point anyway. Just play simulated golf with auto putt. Putting doesn't matter. Putting doesn't work. I'm a huge advocate of you can 100% improve your putting indoors in the simulator. I'm a massive advocate for that. But I'll talk about that. We've only got 5 minutes left. I'll talk about that next week, because I'm very passionate about that. Absolutely, they're wrong saying that. Yeah. Yeah, I 100% agree. And I think those are the people, and we'll talk about this more next week, but they're the people who have had, things like a SkyTrack. Should I have said that? People who have had a SkyTrack, they say putting sucks indoors. You know what? It does. Using something like that, or using a radar-based launch monitor to try and do putting. Look, open mind, but in the old days, putting potentially was bad indoors. It's come a long way since that. It's come a long way since that. And you can 100% get better at putting indoors. And I'll talk about that next week. I'll go into the 3 things that I believe makes a good putter, and we'll break it down and we'll hit some putts. Jonathan saying, you can't work out putting in GS Pro. I'm a big field putter. Looking at the flag, feeling the putt does not work in GS Pro. I think, Jonathan, your feels over time, you'll get better at it. So in GS Pro, for instance, I am very analytical, and I will work out my numbers with full shots, 100%, and partial shots. I have my wedge matrix. One thing that I'm 100% feel with, but arguably if you look at the statistics, for scrambling, I'm one of the best in the world, is my little cut-up shots. My little cut-up shots that I play in GS Pro are 100% feel. I play them the same outside. I do a lot of chipping. I do play a lot of little cut-up shots. In the simulator, I never think about, with my cut-up shots, taking it a certain distance. I never think about different, distances of swing. When I'm in my simulator and I'm doing my little feel cut-up shots, they are 100% feel. I'll look at the flag and I go, it's 15 yards, and I'll look at the flag and I'll just go, right, 15 yards, and I'll just feel a little 15-yard shot. So you'll get better at it, Jonathan. Stick with it. Same with putting. You can build feels. You can definitely build feels in the sim if you want to be a field player. Yeah, B Watts, I'm going to be streaming them. I don't know when. It's 8 o'clock here now in Australia, so I'll probably have a half an hour break, maybe an hour break. I don't know. I'll go check in on the family, see what they're doing, and then I have to play 2 blitz rounds today at some point. So I will be doing that at some point. Yeah, you're right, Harris. It is. It's a hybrid potentially. In your opinion, what is the best launch monitor, no matter the cost? Tomat. Sorry, that's not Thomas. That's Thomas. It's not Tomat. So Thomas, best launch monitor, no matter the costs. Great question. This is such hard. There's different. I'm going to say there's different categories. For me, that's a really hard question. GC Quad is the obvious answer. GC Quad is an incredible launch monitor. They're going to be using the best hardware, so the best cameras. GC Quad is going to be the easy answer for that question for me. best launch monitor no matter the costs. However, I used to think, and this was me before I started sim golf, before I got into this, I used to think I want a GC quad. That's the ultimate. Even a year or year and a half into my simulator golf journey, I was like, I want a quad, I want a quad, I want a quad, I want a quad. And it was forever with the launch monitor that I wanted. Right now though, right now, I don't know if I want a quad because, and look, Jez is saying it, the Pro T changed the way I think about simulators. And there's a few reasons for that. One of the reasons for it is the overhead. Having an overhead unit, not having anything on the ground, is just incredible. Not only for myself, but when my kids come in here, they're not like, I'm not freaking out about a launch monitor on the ground. If I had a quad and I said to my son or my daughter, come and hit some balls, and there's a quad on the ground, I'm freaking out. I'm going to be freaking out. I'm going to be going. And it was like that with the iMini. I was like, please don't shank it into the iMini. Please don't shank it into the iMini. And I was telling them, move the ball forward, putting stress and pressure on them, because now they're thinking, oh, it's dad's launch monitor on the ground. I don't want to hit that. I don't want to break it. And they're freaking out. And there's issues that come with launch monitors that sit on the ground. When you have an overhead, they'll come in here and they'll run around, they'll go crazy. And I'm like, hey, they can't break it. They literally cannot break it. It's on the roof, it's out of the way. So for me now, the ultimate launch monitor is the Pro T. It's stickerless data. You're getting all the data is accurate. It's a fantastic unit. There's limitations. There is limitations with the Pro T. Yes, it doesn't dimple track. If Pro T came out with a device, their next Pro T version, Pro T VX2, if they just kept everything the same and just did dimple tracking, and also just for Matty bombs, if they up the balls, because there's, with every single camera-based unit, there's ball speed limitations. So a lot of these units top out at about 200 miles an hour, these photometric-based units. So I know the Spiker 3 tops out at about 200. The Pro T tops out at about 200 miles an hour. So if they just did dimple tracking and up the ball speed, so potentially better cameras, that's all they need to do. They wouldn't need to do anything else. And even with dimple tracking, it's not, yes, it's everybody's like, I want dimple tracking. And yes, I want dimple tracking. Is it that big of a difference? I just filmed a video that'll come out potentially Monday. I'm editing it now. I just did a video with the Pro T where I just used Pixballs, just regular, no, no Pixballs, just the standard balls. So non-marked balls. And I just rolled the ball up and I hit it. I couldn't tell a difference. I honestly couldn't tell a difference. These units are so good now at picking up on the logo that I don't know. Yes, dimple tracking is the perfect solution. Do we actually need it? Does the majority of users need it? I don't know. All right, guys, that is going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was amazing to see all the Europeans. I love seeing it. Phil, I bet you're loving it. You've got the #1 next to your name, Phil. Thanks for checking in. MCA, thank you. That is going to be it for this episode. Thanks, Jez. If you can, a like. And I'm sure, look, if you're watching this, you're subbed. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for checking in, and I'll catch you guys next